Hey, how we doing, everybody? So we are here with Erin Faust, and she's coming all the way from Altoona, Pennsylvania. I'm here in sunny San Diego, California. How you doing, Erin?
Good. How are you, Matt?
I'm great. I'm great. So why don't you tell our listeners a little bit about yourself and exactly what it is you do and what your passion is?
Well, I'm the owner and formulator at Krug Logic. I make all natural soaps and skincare products. Everything's made from scratch, and I sort of started my business as a way to help my children with their sensitive skin issues, and it just blossomed into a business from there.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. That I remember you told me how you got that start, and that's just an interesting building block to go from. Because probably if it weren't for that issue, you may not have even come onto this.
No. In fact, I remember the day that I decided I needed to do something. My son was 3, I believe, and he came out of the bathroom after washing his hands repeatedly with pump soap, and his hands were all cracked and started to bleed. He was crying, and I knew that I had to do something for him. And being a bit of a nerd and a biology degree holder, I decided that I could do something in my own house, in my own kitchen, to help him with his hands.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you make all the soaps yourself?
I do. I make everything from scratch. I formulated all the recipes myself, and each one is formulated with a specific purpose in mind and with very high quality natural ingredients.
Yeah, I really like how you said they're vegan, right?
Yeah, they're vegan. Yep, which means that there's no animal byproducts, there's no lard, no honey, nothing that was derived from an animal. They're all plant-based. Even the scents are plant-based, whether it be from the roots or the bark or the flowers or leaves. Even the scents come from plants.
That's awesome. I don't know. I know back in Altoona, veganism isn't a really big thing. Out in California
Correct.
here, there's quite a few vegan people, restaurants, places to do that kind of stuff. I actually
Right.
stumbled upon a place in the mall yesterday. It's called Lush. Are you familiar with them?
Oh yes, yes. They have quite a following.
Yeah, I'd imagine. It looked like I didn't actually go in, but it looked like a pretty interesting store from the outside, and I know it looked like exactly kind of what you do.
Right. Yeah, they have. Theirs are a bit different. Some of their products aren't quite as natural, but it's the same kind of concept. Yes.
So, who is your target market? Who do you guys go after? Is it specifically people who have allergies, or is it more just anyone who wants to be all natural?
It's. I would say our main demographic is somewhere. It's mostly female between the ages of, I'd say, 25 and 45. We're gaining actually quite a male following because of the men's skincare products we offer. I make a pale ale beer soap, and I use Yingling lager with it, as well as shaving oil and aftershave. So we're getting quite a male following just from those 3 products alone.
And just a side note to anyone not on the East Coast, Yingling is a beer, actually the oldest brewery in America, and it's in Pennsylvania.
Correct, yep. And so I use that to be as local as possible with a nice, popular beer.
That's awesome. I love how you're kind of sourcing it local and keeping everything true to where you got started. So,
Right.
do you sell a lot of locally, or is it more nation-based?
I sell all over the country, all over the world, actually. But I've been doing some farmers markets here locally. Right now, I'm in a farmers market 4 days of the week. But most of my business is done online and through the magic of Facebook. I've gained quite a following on there, and a lot of sales and business actually stem from Facebook, from sales and giveaways and things we do online.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Social media has a super powerful reach and following because people really crowdsource and really love to use things that other people they know and trust are using.
Right. And we, especially on Facebook, we try to keep it fresh and interesting, and talk about and discuss things that people in that sort of demographic are interested in, and we like the back and forth conversation that Facebook allows to, and it sort of allows me to get to know my customers and what they're really after. And in fact, in some cases, they help to formulate different products. I ask them, what they would like to see in a soap or in a skincare product or in a lip balm, and I take the feedback from them and go from there.
Yeah, that's awesome, because I know myself personally, I love dealing with companies who are just very conscious of what they do, how they make it, and really listen to their customers and have a conversation, because the old marketing tactics of just megaphone yelling at you, telling you what they want to sell you, isn't really working the way it used to. So companies such as yourself really stand out when you listen to customers and make what they want.
Right, and I mean, as far as the sort of the philosophy and the meaning behind my company is, it began with filling a need, and in the beginning it was for my children, and now it's for my family, my friends, my customers. So I like to be able to help them with their needs. So Facebook really allows me to do that.
Awesome. So tell me a little bit about when you started. Obviously, you were very small, just doing it for yourself and maybe a few friends and family. How did it really take off? Can you give me the quick story?
Well, it didn't really take off right away. It was gradual, and it's still gradual. As far as figures and numbers and everything, business is still doubling every year, so that's good.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, but at the beginning the growth was slow because I didn't put a large chunk of money down on the business. I started one product at a time. I bought the ingredients for one batch of soap, made that batch of soap, and just went from there. And again, from customer feedback, I sort of took what some of my customers were looking for, formulated a product for that customer, and just went from there.
Awesome. So you've been open for how many years now?
This is the 4th year I've been selling, and about 5.5 years that I've been making everything.
So you've got it down, and you know the process pretty well.
Oh yeah, I can turn out a batch of soap pretty quick.
That's good. That's good. So do you have people? Is it you a one-woman show, or do you actually have employees that work with you?
Right now I have an employee who packages all my orders and wraps the soap, does all the labels. Currently, I'm doing all the farmers markets, although just today I spoke to a girl who I'm pretty sure I'm going to hire to go ahead and do that to allow me time to produce, because it's growing right now pretty quickly. I need that time to be able to produce the product. So I have a girl that's going to be doing the farmers markets. I have somebody that's packaging the orders, and then I'll just be doing the production.
That's great. So I know you said you've been doubling every year. I know you had some pretty big media attention. Tell me a little more about that. How'd that happen?
Well, I would say maybe 3 years ago, I started to sell on Abe's Market. I'm not currently on there right now. I need to get back on there, actually. I had a bit of a bump in the road last year, so I took down some of my selling venues. So we'll be getting back on Abe's very shortly. But I started selling on there, and they've been fantastic with getting my business and other businesses out there. Through Abe's, I was in Entrepreneur Magazine, Inked Magazine, the New York Times, and then through another selling venue called Etsy, I got to have my Pale Ale beer soap on HGTV. It was a holiday special.
Wow.
And also CNN actually came to my home and followed me around for a while and watched me do what I do and videotaped and interviewed. So it was pretty crazy. So we got to see ourselves on national TV. So it was pretty neat.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome when you can just tune in and have everyone say, "Hey, watch CNN at like 5:30," and I'll be on there.
Right. Yeah. It was pretty neat, I must say. Yeah.
So, any any advice for like aspiring entrepreneurs out there? I know everyone thinks like you A to B is success, but really it's like, and then you finally get there. Any tips on your journey on how to really transform you and what you can really give back to other people?
Um, I would probably say, and I think you're spot on with the fact that getting from A to B isn't so direct. You have to sort of try a little bit of everything and see what direction works for you. I would definitely say if you're not passionate about whatever it is that you're doing, you're not going to be successful. You have to have that passion to drive you. I think that's first and foremost. And I also think that you should take whatever you're good at, whatever is likable about you to other people, and just put it out there and use whatever venues you can and whatever manner you can to get your product or your service out there. And for me, I think I have a lot of Italian in my genes, so I'm a bit of a talker. And so, the Facebook fan page really works for me because I can converse with my customers and my demographic. And when I go to farmers markets, I just like to talk to people, and I think because I'm passionate about what I do, that really comes out in our conversation. So I think as a business owner, a small business owner, when a customer is buying your service or product, they're not just buying that product, but they're buying you. They're buying your passion. So I think it's really important to really be passionate about whatever that is that you're providing.
Yeah, I totally agree. I feel like people think, oh, I can't compete with them, this and that, my product is not different, or what's my differentiator, but everyone is so unique. Everyone has their own life path, perspective, series of events that got them to where they're at, that the way they make soap can't possibly be exactly the same as you.
Right, and that's how it is at the markets or the events that I go to. There could be 3 or 4 other people that are selling a similar product, but mine in some way is way different than theirs. So, and so really I don't view other similar businesses as competition. I have my own unique products and way of formulating them. So everyone's different and everyone can be successful.
Yeah, I think that's such a huge thing that some people just don't really grasp right away, that they don't really have to straight compete with a lot of people, that they really are their own competition, because there's no one that does exactly what you do, regardless of the product you put out.
Right.
So I know you're saying I heard passion about 3 or 4 times in there, and that's great. And I'd love for you to just convey exactly what your passion is and what your why is. I always ask people, like, what's your why? Why do you get out of bed? Why do you do what you do? What makes you who you are?
Well, I think I just like to help people, and I really like that I can make something from scratch that I created on my own that can help them, whether they have a skin issue or they just haven't found that right product for them, to help their face, to help their dry spots, to help cleanse their face, to keep their hands from cracking. And I know that my products can help them, and I love to be able to help them with those sorts of issues.
Yeah, it's great. I love your compassion. I can tell just talking to you, and I've known you a little bit before this, so I know you're a very loving, compassionate person, so it really comes out when you speak about this, and when you put it into your products, because people can feel it when they buy it.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah. Is there anything else you'd like to share with everyone else?
No, I mean, I think, just in terms of, going out there and just trying it, if you are interested in opening a business or starting a business, I would say just go ahead and give it a shot, because if not, you'll always wonder why, or what if, or what could I have done.
Yeah, I agree. The regret of not doing something is way worse than failure. And I think a lot of people view failure as such a bad thing, but everybody fails. Any great entrepreneur has failures. And it's not about the failures, it's about what you learn from the failures, and it's about getting back up and really going forward and instead of thinking it's A to B, it's A to fail, back to A to fail, and then eventually you get to B.
Right.
I think that's so important for people that have a passion, have a dream, whatever that looks like, and to really help them get started. That first step's always the hardest.
Yes. Yes.
Like I remember I used to be more of a runner than I am now, and the first mile is always the hardest. You're always like, man,
Oh yeah.
I don't want to keep running. I know you're a runner as well.
Right.
And for me, I don't know if it's for you, but the first mile is crazy. I'm like, man, why am I running? And then after a mile, you're kind of like, oh, this is getting better. I can feel, I feel my body's getting used to it, whatever it is.
Right. And for me, it's getting out the door.
Yeah, so I really appreciate your time. And I know you
Sure.
are a busy person with lots of interviews. I know just yesterday we had to reschedule because you had a interview with a TV, or I'm sorry, not TV, a newspaper. So
Right. The newspaper.
So,
Yes.
so it looks like you're obviously getting recognized for the great things you're doing. So I'm very thankful you took your time to be here and share your story with us, because I feel like you have a lot to share.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so thank you to everyone out there listening. If you want to get in contact with Erin, what's the best way, Erin?
The best way is you can go to my website, www.krugsecollogic.com. That's Krug Ecologic. And there's a little contact us link. Just go ahead and click on that, and that comes right to us.
Great, and now I'll put a link in the bottom in the comment section so people can check out your website and really check out your great products, because obviously it doesn't matter where you're at in the world that you can order your products and enjoy irritated-free skin. So I may have to do the same. I've actually never tried your products, and I'm really disappointed that I've never done that. But for a man, I feel like I don't really have skin problems, so it's not a high priority for me. But I feel like I should take better care of my skin.
Well, I'll just have to send you some.
Great, I would appreciate that. Thank you, Erin. All right, everyone, thank you for tuning in, and we will catch up with you next time. Thank you.